Hello, I'm Adam Barralet and welcome to this Earth Connections video where we're exploring the essential oil of myrrh. There's actually a really sad myth which revolves around the creation of the myrrh tree. Now, there was a princess by the name of Myrrh, and she fell in love with her father, who was the king of Cyprus. When her mother and all the other women of the city had left for the festival of Ceres, she stayed behind, and each night she'd sneak into her father's chambers at night and seduce him. Now, after the third night, her father became curious on who this mysterious lover was, and so shone a light in her face. Finding out that it was her daughter, he was disgusted and repulsed, and grabbed his sword and tried to kill her, but she ran away and escaped. There, not accepted in the city of Cyprus anymore, she roamed the earth, not knowing what to do. Full of grief, full of guilt, and pregnant as well, she prayed to the gods and asked them to turn her into a tree, because she didn't want to offend the living nor the dead. And that's exactly what they did. And thus the myrrh tree was created, and now, even today, still sheds its tears of guilt, shame, and grief and loss. The myrrh tree grows in some of the harshest environments in Africa and Asia. And what we do is we scar the tree and it bleeds these tears of resin, and from that resin it is steam distilled and we get this precious essential oil that we know as myrrh. The word myrrh actually translates to mean bitter in Arabic. And it has this really kind of earthy but spiritual scent around it. It has a long history and has been used in many different cultures. And we're going to explain and explore in this video how you can use myrrh to help support your body, your mind, and your spirit whenever there's hardship, pain, or loss happening in your life. There's some really beautiful properties of myrrh which can help to bring our body back into balance. Myrrh is lovely for our skin, especially older skin. It's really good mixed into our skincare products, or even mixed with a bit of a carrier oil and massage over our face. It can really help with wrinkles, aged skin to look a bit more youthful, and it's really nice and supportive for dermatitis as well. But it doesn't just have to be the skin on our face, it can benefit the skin on all of our body, and especially it's really nice for our nails, both our fingernails and our toenails. And if you do a bit of Googling and find a cuticle cream, add some myrrh to that, and that can really help the health of your cuticles. Myrrh is also great for oral health. If you're having any grief at all, then what I like to do is get a little shot glass with some water, about 15 mils or half an ounce, put 3 drops of tea tree and a couple of drops of myrrh, and it'll help to heal any grief you're having. So if you're having ulcers, if you've got gum disease, any bleeding of the gums, or just a sore tooth or something like that, then that's going to be really, really nice. Clove can be really nice if the tooth is sore as well. It's going to be really great for our digestive system, myrrh. Add 1 or 2 drops of a therapeutic grade essential oil into about quarter of a cup of water. Mix in a bit of agave or honey or anything like that to sweeten it up, and drink that, and that'll really help to soothe your digestion. It's also really good if you've got congestion in the respiratory system. Inhaling it through a diffuser or massaging it where that congestion is will help to loosen that up and allow you to breathe a lot easier. Frankincense is the oil of the father, and myrrh is the oil of the mother. And just like a call to your mother helps to settle, calm, and ground you when things are going a little bit wrong in your life, that's exactly what myrrh allows you to do. It helps you to ground you. It helps you to see the truth in a situation. It helps you to see a clear perspective, and it also helps you to feel safe in the world as well. I often think of, when a child hurts itself and it comes to mother, and mum gives it a hug and it feels all right, and then off into the world to play again. And that's exactly what myrrh does for you. Myrrh, actually being the oil of the mother, is really good at helping with all those different issues to do with the feminine and to do with our mother. If there was any feelings, or there still remains feelings of abandonment, lack of nourishment, it's really good for those children that were adopted, or adults, as if they're still dealing with those types of issues. Myrrh will help you to feel nurtured and to gain a balanced perspective in how whatever the relationship was with your mother, how that actually served you and created the beautiful person that you are today. Myrrh also helps you understand the divine feminine, to embrace the feminine within yourself and the feminine in people around you. And so if there's any aspect of the feminine that's annoying you, regardless of your gender, then working with myrrh and contemplating those issues and what's actually triggering you can be really supportive. Now, in this way, we can diffuse myrrh, we can rub myrrh on our feet, or if we're doing a concentrated meditation, 3 drops on the hands, rub that in and breathe that in. And a beautiful place to do that, of course, would be outside under the moon, especially the full moon. Myrrh has a really interesting spiritual profile because it has that grounding nature, but it's also very spiritual at the same time. It's great for blessing and consecrating either yourself or something of value to make you feel heightened and raise your vibration, and it's really good for casting out negative energy, so diffusing it or wearing it will help to get rid of any destructive energies around you. Because of this duality of grounding but spiritual, it's really good for helping you to journey and do all these great meditations and go to different realms and connect with different levels without kind of losing your connection to the spiritual world. So if you're doing any astral travel or really big dream work or anything like that, then Myrrh can be a really strong addition to anchor you into the physical world so you don't lose yourself in that way. Anyone who tends to be a bit too airy-fairy and off with the spiritual too much can really benefit from Myrrh as well. Myrrh also helps you to remind you of the bigger picture, that you were given gifts and you came into this physical world to be of service and to start sharing those gifts with the world and making a contribution in this physical reality, and not to spend all your time escaping to other realms. Myrrh, as I said before, helps you connect with the divine feminine, and thus is really linked to all these beautiful goddesses, and especially one that I love to work with Myrrh is Isis. Now what I love about Isis is Isis was a very nurturing goddess where she would flood the Nile and she'd bring sustenance to the people of Egypt, but she was also a goddess of magic as well. So she really honoured those two aspects of the femininity, of that nurturing mother, but also that magic priestess as well. And so you can connect with Isis, or just by bringing in that energy of Myrrh and Isis around you can help any woman or even man to have that nurturing side, that kind of earthly side, but also that quite intuitive side, which is also known as being a feminine trait as well. Being grounding as well, Myrrh is great for connecting with the earth, and it's really nice for helping to bring abundance into your life, but not so much financial abundance necessarily, but more a joyful, pleasurable physical reality that we want to have all the time. Now a little practice you can do is you get a little green bag, you get a green crystal or a prosperity crystal, like a green jade is one of my favorites to use, and you put a couple of coins in there, put some of the Myrrh oil in there and hang that in your closet and allow that energy to permeate across all of your clothes. As we put our clothes on each day with that Myrrh energy and that kind of magical energy, that crystal and everything working together, you then take that out into the day, and it helps to attract abundance each and every day as you step out into the world and share your gifts with everyone. Because of the spiritual profile of Myrrh, Myrrh is really good for two different chakras. Our extreme chakra is our base chakra. It's really nice for having that grounding, calming, soothing effect, and so it's really good for that. But it's also great for our crown chakra, helping us to find wisdom and truth and answers and guidance. So you can, normally with Myrrh, depending on what you need to find a bit more balance, do you need a bit more grounding, or do you want to kind of, from a safe space, kind of start to journey up into the world? Either way, Myrrh can really help you in that way. Popping a bit of Myrrh on those chakras and visualizing that red and that violet as you kind of stretch up to the world without losing that anchor from the physical can be a really nice activity to do. So if either of those chakras are out of balance and you want to kind of nurture yourself and bring a bit more physicalness into your spirituality, or spirituality into your physicalness, then work with Myrrh and balance these two chakras at the same time. The unique, rich, woody aroma of Myrrh essential oil blends really nicely with a whole range of other oils. You can mix it with some real sacred ones such as frankincense, sandalwood and spikenard, and make a nice anointing oil which will help to bless you and raise your vibration while casting off any destructive or unwanted energies. It's really nice with some more uplifting kind of light ones. Think of like jasmine or lavender or eucalyptus. It blends really nicely with citruses such as grapefruit or lemon. Or just play around and see where you're guided. If you need a bit more grounding and you're working with the Myrrh, then it will go really nicely with also things like vetiver or cedarwood. Or if you want to lift yourself up, then try mixing it with a spruce or a fir or any of those nice big trees that give you that strength and that power as you lift up into the heavens. To get the most out of your Myrrh essential oil, bring in some other energies that really resonate with it. Now, the crystals that I love to work with is one called Eyelight. It's this beautiful blue, dark blue, indigo, violet kind of crystal. And this is definitely a crystal of guidance. It allows us to see the lessons around us. And just like Myrrh helps to ground us and handle different situations that are stressful for us and find the truth to them, Eyelight can really help us to do the same. So when things are stressful, grab your Myrrh. That'll ground you, help you to find the truth, and Eyelight will help you to find lessons and teachers, whatever you need at that time. The animal guide that I'll call on when I'm working with these two is the wolf. Now, wolf is a solo animal. Some of the time it'll go out and it'll follow its instincts, follow its own guidance. You know, Myrrh helps us to follow our own truth as well. But then, what does she do when she finds something? Wolf, she'll call to the rest of the pack, whether it be food or whether she needs support or different things like that. And that's a key lesson of wolf. We all love wolf, but wolf is very much about following your intuition and following your inner guidance and going and finding things. But it's no good finding the truth and then keeping it to yourself. It's about sharing it back to the community. And Myrrh is about bringing your gifts back and sharing them with your community as well. So how do you work with these three together? Get some Myrrh essential oil on your hand. Close your eyes and inhale that. Hold your crystal in your receptive hand, the hand that you do not write with, and then visualize yourself in a place of nature and ask Wolf to come forward. See what knowledge Wolf has to share with you, and just don't try and predict anything. Just allow whatever happens to happen, and allow the oil, the crystal, and this wisdom of the animal to all mix together and bring you some amazing lessons in that way. Astrologically wise, Myrrh is associated with being the mother, the moon, and so working with it on Monday is really nice. It's also a Cancerian oil because Cancers are ruled by the moon. So if you're Cancerian or working with that Cancerian energy, wanting to bring that more mothering, nurturing energy into your life, then Myrrh would be a really nice one to support you with. Now, remember that not all essential oils are created the same. So many are adulterated and you can't always trust what's on the label. So when you're getting ready to work with your essential oils, make sure you find a really top grade one that does a lot of testing and is pure and a therapeutic grade. I have found a brand that I love working with, and I'd love to share more and work with people all around the world on spreading how amazing these oils are. And if that's of interest to you, I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me an email down below. Now, have you worked with Myrrh essential oil? It kind of takes a back seat to frankincense sometimes, but it's so valuable and used in so many different ways. So please share with us all, how have you used Myrrh and how has it benefited you? Leave a comment in the section below and we'd love to hear from your wisdom. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.